It begins with a sound, not a scream, not thunder, not even the shrill cry of an animal, just footsteps, slow, steady, unmistakable. And they are not hers. A girl is walking home, clutching her backpack close. She dares a glance over her shoulder, and in that glance, her world shifts. A figure lingers just far enough away to hide in shadow, but close enough to be real. The street is empty, except for them. His footsteps echo hers, a perfect mimic, as though her very movements are rehearsed in someone else's mouth. The girl's breath sharpens. Her pace changes. The stranger changes too. It is in that instant she understands. She is not walking alone. She is being hunted. Her name is Emily, a college student, 19 years old, quiet, almost invisible. People pass her in hallways and do not notice her. Professors mispronounce her last name. She spends her evenings at the campus library, long after her classmates have gone to parties or dorm rooms filled with laughter. She tells herself she likes the silence, but in truth, the silence has become her only companion. On this night, that silence feels different, heavy. The campus clock struck 11 when she closed her books. The library emptied, lights flickered, and shadows stretched too long. She walked alone through the courtyard, the chill of autumn slipping under her jacket. The wind carried faint whispers of leaves dragging across pavement. She thought she was alone. She wanted to believe she was alone until the footsteps began. Emily has always been followed by things no one else sees. Her childhood home creaked with footsteps when no one else was awake. Her mother swore she was imagining it. Her father never listened. She remembers the nights when her toys moved in the dark, when her closet door was open though she locked it, when her younger brother cried about someone whispering his name. But she remembers most the night he disappeared. He was 6. He had been afraid, clutching her arm, begging her not to leave him in the dark. But Emily was 12 and tired, and she told him to be brave. She turned away. By morning, he was gone. No one ever found him. People whispered. Neighbors stared. Her parents broke under the weight of blame. Her family never recovered. And Emily learned one truth. Silence is not empty. It remembers. It follows. On the street, the footsteps behind her grow louder. Emily quickens her pace. The sound matches. She veers right down a smaller street lined with flickering lamps. The figure follows. Her heartbeat pounds against her ribs. She tells herself not to panic. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe he's just walking home too. But deep down, she knows. The world has always had a way of circling back to her. The stranger's shadow stretches long behind her, distorted, almost inhuman. She doesn't dare look back again. Emily has told people before about the things that haunt her. Teachers, counselors, friends. No one believed her. Some laughed. Some rolled their eyes. Most just ignored her, letting her words fall flat like broken glass no one cared to clean. They told her she was paranoid, sensitive, fragile. They said the mind plays tricks. They said she wanted attention. But tonight, on this street where even the lamps seemed too weak to help, she knows she was never imagining it. There is someone behind her. There is something behind her. And it wants her to know she is powerless. Emily crosses the street without warning. The stranger crosses too. Her throat tightens. She speeds up, pulling her jacket tighter. The stranger's footsteps quicken. She stops. He stops. The silence between them isn't silence anymore. It's alive, breathing, pressing against her skin like cold hands. For a moment, she dares to whisper, trembling to herself. They always follow. They never stop. The words sting in the air, too heavy, too true. Emily walks faster, nearly jogging. The street narrows, houses standing silent and dark, windows like blank eyes staring at her plight but refusing to see. She feels it then, an almost physical weight at her back. The hairs on her arms rise. Her body knows before her mind does. He's closer now. She swears she feels breath on her neck. A memory surfaces uninvited, her little brother's last words, whispered to her that night. They're here. Emily nearly runs, her steps uneven, wild. But even as she flees, the footsteps behind her grow louder, steady, deliberate. He is not running. He doesn't need to. Terror sharpens into something else. Not courage, not safety, something darker. Emily realizes she has lived her entire life like this. Chased, doubted, unseen. Everyone who mocked her, ignored her, or told her to be strong only fed the thing that follows. But tonight, she feels something different rising inside her. A strange kind of defiance. She turns a corner sharply and stops beneath a failing streetlight. The footsteps echo. The stranger appears. A figure half shrouded in shadow, face obscured by a hood. And Emily does not move. For the first time, she lets the fear settle. Lets it seep into her bones, and she whispers into the night, "You don't own me." The words come out raw, trembling, but filled with something real. The stranger halts. For a flicker of a second, Emily swears the night itself pauses, listening. She remembers something her grandmother once said, in a moment that never left her. Fear doesn't chase the strong. It feeds on the silent. And now, another thought crashes against her. Sometimes, the scariest thing in the dark is how much it wants you to believe you're alone. But courage cannot hold forever. The stranger steps closer. His shoes scrape against the pavement. Emily's breath snaps in her throat. Instinct wins. She runs. Her feet slam against the ground, pounding faster, faster, the world spinning past her. Storefronts appear ahead, glowing faintly in the night. A convenience store. A door. Safety. She lunges for it, bursts through with shaking hands, the bell above ringing sharp in the silence. She spins back toward the door. The street outside is empty. No footsteps. No shadow. No stranger. The night has swallowed him whole. Emily collapses against the counter, chest heaving, heart thrashing against her ribs like it wants to escape. The clerk stares at her in confusion, muttering something she cannot hear. She barely notices. Her eyes remain locked on the glass door. She half expects him to appear again. She half expects the footsteps to return. But the street is silent. For now. Emily walks home later, escorted by the fluorescent light of the store clerk's phone. Each step feels heavy, unreal. When she finally closes her apartment door and locks it, she does not breathe relief. She knows the truth. He didn't disappear. He simply let her live. For tonight. Fear does not always strike with teeth or claws. Sometimes it walks behind you, quiet and patient, waiting for you to break. Sometimes it wants nothing more than your silence. But Emily learned something in the darkness. Consistency is not weakness. It is survival. To keep moving forward, even when hunted, even when doubted, is its own kind of weapon. The stranger vanished, but the truth lingers. The footsteps we hear at night are not always footsteps. Sometimes they are reminders. Reminders that fear is never gone. It only waits. If this story left your heart racing, don't let the silence end here. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who walks home alone. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt someone behind you, only to find nothing there? Or worse, have you ever found someone